A creepy old man sat in his worn leather chair. Outside, the wind howled like a hungry wolf. Rain lashed against the window panes, blurring the lights of the city beyond. The sender, his deceased grandfather, had left him an inheritance, an old family portrait said to be worth a fortune. He could barely make out the details in the dim lamplight, but there was something about the figure's faint smile that unsettled him. It was as though the figure in the portrait was leaning towards him, its breath hot on his ear, whispering his name over and over again. He sat up in bed, heart pounding, and stared at the door. In the darkness, he could have sworn he saw the door handle turn. As the creature emerged from the portrait, the eyes, now burning like hot coals, fixed on him, and he could only hope that whatever came next wouldn't be worse than the torment of the last 12 nights. Or maybe, just maybe, it would be the end of it all. Still, he tried to convince himself that it was just an old painting. There was nothing to be afraid of. Marcus had never met the man, but he knew one thing for sure. He didn't want whatever it was lurking in that painting. But inside, by the light of a solitary lamp, sat an old man with a secret. He clutched a letter in his trembling hands. It was addressed to him, but it wasn't the sender that concerned him. It was what the letter contained. The portrait hung in the living room of his new home, a sprawling, dusty mansion that had been in his family for generations. But that night, as he lay in bed trying to sleep, he heard a whisper. It was the painting, he was sure of it. Night after night, the whispering grew louder, more insistent, and with each passing night, Marcus became more afraid. He tried everything to drown out the sound, but the portrait seemed to be taunting him, its voice echoing in his mind long after he had turned the music up or the television. The portrait's eyes, which until now had been unseeing, stared directly at him, and as he watched in horror, they blinked. Then, as if gathering its strength for some terrible purpose, the figure in the portrait slowly rose from its frame. Its lips curled into a wide, grotesque smile, and it beckoned to him with a finger. On the 12th night, the whispering reached a fever pitch, and in that moment, Marcus knew he had no choice but to obey.